Do you want to hear a Hollywood ghost story?
Of course.
Want to hear an old Hollywood ghost story? Okay. Back in the 1920s, at the early days of the birth of cinema, not too many years after Carl Laemmle moved his company west and opened Universal Studios in 1915, the local newspapers in Hollywood have this headline: Lillian Von Drake, the heiress to the Von Drake oil family fortune, has announced that she's getting married to a man named Maxie DeVille. Now, Maxie DeVille is what you would have called back in the 1920s a drugstore cowboy. What that means is it's a guy who dresses up like all fancy clothes and hangs out in front of drugstores in order to pick up women. In this case, he met Lillian, he swept her off her feet, she falls head over heels in love with him, and they get married, much to the chagrin of her mother, Mildred Von Horn, who is the widow who has the entire oil fortune. Because no sooner do they get married, Maxie starts to work on a luxury hotel. It's up in the Hollywood Hills. It's just directly below the famous Hollywood Land real estate development sign. But he spends all of this money, millions of dollars, building this beautiful luxury hotel and starts hobnobbing with the rich and famous of Hollywood. And then, only a few months after that, tragedy strikes. A pair of sisters, Dottie and Dolly Klampendorf, are found dead on the premises. Dottie, the maid, is found swinging by her neck in the elevator. Dolly, the cook, is found with her head in the oven, an apparent double suicide. But then more stuff happens. Strange accidents that can't be explained, suicides, until the Hollywood press starts labeling Maxie's hotel a hotel of horrors. And then, tragedy strikes again. Mildred Van Horn, the mother-in-law, is found dead in her bathtub, electrocuted when a radio accidentally falls into it. And then tragedy strikes again. Lillian DeVille, formerly Van Horn, dies in a freak fire in her bedroom. Now, during the fire, Maxie rushes to her side in an act of bravery, tries to put out the flames. He's badly burned, but he survives. And then the police start getting suspicious. They begin to suspect that Maxie DeVille is behind all of these murders. There is a long trial, and after several months, the jury returns a verdict of guilty, and Maxie gets sentenced to death. Now there's appeals, and that goes on for years and years and years, but finally, in San Quentin, as they're closing the gas chamber door and the gas fumes are coming up to his face, he laughs and cries out, "I'll be back." And that's all I'm gonna say. Stay tuned, boys and ghouls.